I'm Sam Perniano, President of Cities and Development Group. Cities and Development Group is involved in a number of exciting projects throughout the GTA, Absolute in Mississauga, L Tower in Backstage, in and around the Sony Centre, the St. Lawrence Market District, Pier 27 at the foot of Yonge Street. We have the Shores development in Oakville.
My name is Sharon Florian and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing at Fernbrook City Zen. When we were preparing for the release of Tower 4 and 5, we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted to bring a little bit more excitement to this project and see what else we could add to Mississauga. And that's when the idea of the design competition came into play.
So I was querying Ed Sajaki, the Planning Commissioner, about height and what his thoughts were on what the potential height of these buildings could possibly be. And I mentioned a number that was in excess of 50 stories, and he didn't seem to react negatively towards that. He was actually quite positive. And I simply asked him the question, what do you think of an international design competition? And he looked at me in a strange way and asked me, are you serious? You would consider doing that? And I said, sure. So that afternoon, Ed went back to City Hall, had a conversation with the mayor and his staff. And I got a phone call soon after that, and basically said to me, let's do it. And it wasn't long before we had received almost 600 registrations. And then from those 600 registrations, we received just over 90 submissions. I believe it was 92 submissions.
And we ended up with this beautiful design by Young Sung Ma, which created a lot of buzz.
I don't think we would have gotten this design through any other means.
In 15 years of residential experience, I've never worked on a project that's this interesting, this iconic. There are only a handful of buildings in the world that are of this caliber, on par with Marina City in Chicago or many of the buildings going up in Dubai and some of the European cities and in Beijing. It's very interesting that every day you find people stop photographing the building. It's almost as though this building has put Mississauga on the map in terms of the architectural world. People are coming to Mississauga just to see these buildings, just like they go to Bilbao in Spain to see the Guggenheim.
I heard an interesting story just the other day from a colleague of mine, and it was a story about a purchaser who was wanting to buy a building in Mississauga from one of our competitors. This purchaser had decided that he wanted a view of our buildings, which I found it to be quite remarkable. More often than not, people want a view south or they want a view of the lake, but this particular purchaser wanted a view of our buildings.
If we took the same building and put it in Toronto, it would be lost amongst all the other towers, and there isn't enough room for it to be enjoyed.
The location's perfect, right at Hurontario and Burnham Thorpe, across from Square One, close to transportation, literally minutes from the airport, minutes to downtown Toronto. You can get anywhere from here. We're right at the center of Mississauga.
We wanted to provide more amenities than are the usual. So we quickly came to the conclusion that a single amenity complex with a lot of exciting and different things was the route to take. And we ended up with this facility that's well in excess of 35,000 square feet.
We have 2 pools, 1 indoor, 1 outdoor, 2 squash courts, 5 furnished guest suites, a theater that seats I think 52 people. There's an indoor running track, a half-court basketball court, cardio and weights rooms. It's really quite amazing. It's a must-see for sure.
Where else would you find this? You can't. There's no building in the GTA that has this, probably not in Canada. The building itself has expansive glass in every suite. You have expansive views of the lake, the city, or the parks to the north. There is no bad view in any of these suites, and it will be unobstructed probably forever, because the chances of Mississauga building another building of this height is pretty slim.
These penthouses are a unique opportunity. We've left them bare, and we've laid out the units to some degree, but we've left them bare because we want input from the purchaser in terms of how they want to finish their units. So we wanted to give someone the ultimate flexibility with respect to the finishing. We've given people the ability to bring their own interior designer if they choose to do so, and we will create a custom unit for them. These are the 2 tallest buildings in the city of Mississauga, and therefore these are the tallest suites in the city of Mississauga. They have these panoramic views. The balconies envelope the unit, so they're wraparound balconies.
They're very deep balconies and very long balconies, which is unique in most condos.
What we're really excited about today is that we do have some never released penthouse units at the top of Tower 5. So our penthouse units in Tower 5 are going to be released in the next few weeks. These are spectacular suites. There's 4 suites, 10-foot ceilings, spectacular finishes, and absolutely beautiful panoramic views of the city, and as well, of course, views of Tower 4.
Over the course of time, these buildings will prove themselves to be a statement for the city of Mississauga. I think what we can see in the future is that the value of these buildings will far outpace the value of other buildings in the city.